Food and globalization. Useful vocabulary before listening. Cuisine, fusion, global influence, traditional dishes, eating habits. Globalization has changed the way we eat. In major cities around the world, it's common to find food from many different cultures. Whether it's sushi from Japan, tacos from Mexico, or pizza from Italy. International cuisine is now widely available. One result of this trend is fusion food, which combines ingredients and techniques from different cultures. A popular example is Korean tacos, Mexican-style tacos filled with Korean barbecued meat. This kind of innovation allows people to try something new while enjoying familiar flavors. While global influence has brought more variety, some people worry that traditional dishes are being lost. Fast food chains are replacing local restaurants in many places, and younger generations may not learn how to cook the foods of their ancestors. Eating habits are also changing. In many countries, people now eat more processed foods and fewer home-cooked meals. This shift can lead to health problems such as obesity or mellitus, diabetes. However, others argue that increased access to diverse foods helps people eat more vegetables, grains, and seafood. In the end, globalization has both positive and negative effects on care of food. It connects us, introduces us to new tastes, but also challenges us to preserve local food. Traditions. Israeli Sol. Vocabulary summary. Cuisine, a style or type of cooking. Fusion, a mix of different elements. Traditional dishes, foods passed down through generations. Eating habits, patterns in how and what people eat.
Maintaining a healthy work-life balance has become a major challenge in today's fast-paced world. Many employees find themselves answering emails late at night, attending meetings during lunch breaks, or even working on weekends. While technology has made it easier to work from anywhere, it has also made it harder to switch off. Studies show that people who regularly work overtime are more likely to suffer from stress, anxiety, and burnout. Lack of balance between professional and personal life can also affect relationships with family and friends. Over time, this can lead to a decrease in productivity and overall job satisfaction. On the positive side, some companies are now taking steps to support their workers. Flexible working hours, remote work options, and mental health days are becoming more common. Employers are realizing that happy, well-rested employees are more creative and efficient. Experts suggest several strategies for improving work-life balance. First, it's important to set boundaries, like turning off notifications after work hours. Second, people should take regular breaks during the day and use vacation days to fully disconnect. Lastly, learning to say no to extra tasks can help prevent overload. In conclusion, balancing work and personal life is not just about time management. It's about making conscious choices that protect your well-being. When employees and employers work together to create a healthier environment, everyone benefits.
Social media and mental health. Useful vocabulary before listening. Self-esteem, comparison, digital addiction, anxiety, online. Validation. Social media plays a big role in modern life. While it helps people stay connected and share experiences, it can also affect mental health, especially among young users. One major issue is comparison. When people see others posting perfect photos and happy moments, they may feel that their own lives are less exciting. This can lower self-esteem and lead to feelings of anxiety or chaigishu, sadness. People may start to believe that everyone else is doing better than they are, even though social media only shows a small part of reality. Another problem is digital addiction. Many users spend hours scrolling through posts, checking likes, or replying to messages. This behavior can affect sleep, reduce productivity, and even cause stress. However, social media isn't all bad. It can offer support, build communities, and raise awareness about mental health issues. Some platforms now offer reminders to take breaks or suggest positive content. Experts recommend using social media mindfully, limiting screen time, following positive accounts, and focusing on real life. Relationships can help protect mental health. Vocabulary summary. Self-esteem. How much a person values or respects themselves. Comparison. Judging oneself based on others. Digital addiction. Being unable to stop using digital devices. Online validation. Seeking approval through likes and comments.
Urban life versus rural life. Useful vocabulary before listening. Urbanization, cost of living, sense of community, infrastructure. Public services. Life in the city and life in the countryside offer very different experiences. Urban areas are often busy, fast-paced, and full of opportunities. People move to cities for better jobs, more entertainment, and growth. Access to modern infrastructure like public transport and hospitals. However, urban living also comes with challenges. Cities are usually more crowded and polluted. The cost of living, including housing, food, and transportation, is generally higher. Many city residents live in small apartments and may not know their neighbors. In contrast, rural areas offer more open space, cleaner air, and a slower pace of life. People who live in the countryside often enjoy a stronger sense of community, as towns are smaller and people tend to know each other. Life is usually quieter and more connected to nature. That said, rural life also has downsides. Public services like healthcare, schools, or internet. Access may be limited. Job options can be fewer, especially for young people or those with specialized skills. In recent years, some people have moved from cities back to the countryside. Many on the side, especially with the rise of remote work. Others prefer to stay in urban centers where everything is more convenient. In the end, the choice between urban and rural life depends on personal values and priorities. Vocabulary summary. Urbanization, the growth of cities and city life. Cost of living, the amount of money needed to live in a place. Sense of community, feeling connected to others in a social group. Infrastructure, basic systems and services, roads, power, transport. Public services, services provided by the government like health and education.
Travel trends after the pandemic. Useful vocabulary before listening. Travel restrictions, workation, domestic tourism, sustainable. Travel, remote working. The COVID-19 pandemic changed how people travel. During lockdowns, borders were closed and taxing. Travel restrictions kept many at home. Even now, a few years later, the travel industry is still adapting to new behaviors and expectations. One growing trend is workation, a combination of work and vacation. Thanks to remote working, people can now work from different locations, whether it's a beach resort or a mountain cabin. This allows travelers to enjoy new places without taking time off. Domestic tourism has also become more popular. Instead of flying to other countries, many people are exploring their own nations, discovering hidden gems and supporting local businesses. Another shift is the rise of sustainable travel. Tourists are becoming more aware of their environmental impact and are choosing eco-friendly hotels, avoiding plastic, and traveling by train instead of plane when possible. Health and safety remain top concerns. Travelers now check for hygiene standards, cancellation policies, and insurance coverage more carefully than before. Although the pandemic was a difficult time for global travel, it has led to more thoughtful and flexible ways of exploring the world. Vocabulary summary. Travel restrictions, rules that limit or prevent travel. Workation, working while on vacation. Domestic tourism, traveling within one's own country. Sustainable travel, traveling in a way that protects the environment.
Urban life versus rural life. Useful vocabulary before listening. Urbanization, cost of living, sense of community, infrastructure, public services. Life in the city and life in the countryside offer very different experiences. Urban areas are often busy, fast-paced, and full of opportunities. People move to cities for better jobs, more entertainment, and full access to modern infrastructure, like public transport and hospitals. However, urban living also comes with challenges. Cities are usually more crowded and polluted. The cost of living, including housing, food, and transportation, is generally higher. Many city residents live in small apartments and low apartments and may not know their neighbors. In contrast, rural areas offer more open space, cleaner air, and a slower pace of life. People who live in the countryside often enjoy a stronger sense of community, as towns are smaller and people tend to know each other. Life is usually quieter and more connected to nature. That said, rural life also has downsides. Public services like healthcare, schools, or internet access may be limited. Job options can be fewer, especially for young people or those with specialized skills. In recent years, some people have moved from cities back to the countryside, especially with the rise of remote work. Others prefer to stay in urban centers where everything is more convenient. In the end, the choice between urban and rural life depends on personal values and priorities. Vocabulary summary: urbanization, the growth of cities and city life. Cost of living, the amount of money needed to live in a place. Sense of community, feeling connected to others in a social group. Infrastructure, basic systems and services, roads, power, transport, public services. Services provided by the government like health and education.
B2 Listening to Climate Change and Our Planet. Key vocabulary and phrases: greenhouse gases, global warming, carbon footprint, renewable energy, climate policy. Listening text: climate change is one of the most pressing global challenges we face today. The Earth's average temperature is rising, largely due to human activities such as burning fossil fuels and deforestation. These activities release greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere, which trap heat and lead to global warming. As a result, we are witnessing more frequent and severe natural disasters, including hurricanes, floods, and wildfires. Ice caps are melting, sea levels are rising, and weather patterns are becoming more unpredictable. These changes not only threaten ecosystems, but also affect agriculture, water supplies, and human health. To address climate change, governments and individuals must work together. One important step is reducing our carbon footprint by using renewable energy sources like solar and wind power. Supporting climate-friendly policies, conserving energy, and adopting sustainable habits such as recycling and reducing waste can also make a difference. Furthermore, education and awareness are crucial in motivating people to take action. By understanding the science behind climate change, we can better appreciate the urgency of the situation and the need for immediate solutions. If we act now, we can still protect the planet for future generations. Summary of key vocabulary: greenhouse gases, global warming, carbon footprint, renewable energy, climate policy.
The rise of online learning. Useful vocabulary before listening: e-learning, flexibility, digital divide, self-discipline, virtual classroom. Online learning has become increasingly popular in recent years, especially after the global pandemic. Many universities, schools, and companies now offer online courses, allowing people to study anytime and anywhere. This flexibility makes education more accessible, especially for those with busy schedules or who live far from schools. There are many benefits to e-learning. To e-learning. Students can learn at their own pace, choose from a wide range of subjects, and often save money on travel or accommodation. Online platforms can also use videos, quizzes, and forums to make learning interactive and engaging. However, there are also some challenges. Not everyone has access to fast internet or a quiet place to study, which creates a digital divide between learners. Online education. also requires strong self-discipline. Without face-to-face interaction, some students may feel less motivated or even isolated. Teachers also need to adapt. They must learn how to use new tools and communication. Design lessons that work well in a virtual classroom. In some cases, traditional teaching methods don't translate easily to an online setting. Despite these issues, online learning is likely to remain a big part of education in the future. As technology improves and more people gain access, e-learning could help bridge educational gaps worldwide. Vocabulary summary. E-learning, learning through digital platforms. Digital divide, the gap between those who have access to technology and those who don't. Self-discipline, the ability to control one's behavior and stay focused. Virtual classroom, an online space where students and teachers interact. Cultural differences in communication, useful vocabulary before listening. Body language, directness, personal space, misunderstandings. Cultural norms, communication styles vary greatly across cultures. What may seem polite or normal in one country could be considered rude or strange in another. For example, in many Western cultures, people value directness and prefer to say exactly what they mean. In contrast, in some Asian cultures, people may speak more indirectly in order to maintain harmony and avoid confrontation. Body language is another area where cultural differences can lead to confusion. In some countries, making eye contact is a sign of confidence, while in others it may be seen as disrespectful. Similarly, gestures such as a thumbs up or a handshake can carry very different meanings depending on the 20B scene region. Personal space is also important. In Latin American or Middle Eastern cultures, people often stand closer when talking. In contrast, people from Northern Europe or Japan may prefer more polar physical distance. Violating these unspoken rules can cause discomfort or even offense. In today's global world, being aware of these differences is more important than ever. International teams, business meetings, and even travel experiences can benefit greatly from cross-cultural understanding. Miscommunication often happens not because people intend to be rude, but because they follow different cultural norms. Vocabulary summary. Body language, nonverbal communication through physical movement. Directness, speaking clearly and openly without hiding meaning. Personal space, the physical distance people prefer in social settings. Cultural norms, accepted behaviors in a specific culture.
The psychology of happiness. Useful vocabulary before listening. Well-being, gratitude, mindset, life satisfaction, social connection. Listening. Text. What makes people truly happy? For years, psychologists have studied this question. Research suggests that happiness is not just about wealth or success. In fact, people who earn more money are not always more satisfied with their lives. One important factor in happiness is gratitude. When people regularly express thanks for what they have, their overall mood improves. Another key element is mindset. People who focus on positive experiences and look for meaning in life often feel happier than those who focus on problems. Relationships also play a major role. Strong social connections with friends, family, or community can provide emotional support and reduce stress. In contrast, loneliness is strongly linked to unhappiness and even health problems. Interestingly, giving can also make people happy. Donating to charity or helping others can increase one's sense of purpose and joy. Physical health matters too. Regular exercise and enough sleep are closely connected to emotional well-being. Finally, happiness is partly a skill. People can learn to become happier by practicing positive habits and changing their perspective on life. Vocabulary. Summary. Well-being. A state of being comfortable, healthy, and happy. Gratitude. Being thankful, life satisfaction. How content someone is with their life. Overall social connection. Having relationships and a sense of belonging. In recent years, technology has drastically changed the way we communicate with one another. With smartphones, messaging apps, and video calls, people can stay in touch instantly, no matter where they are in the world. This convenience has brought families closer and made it easier for colleagues to work together from different locations. However, not all effects of this change are positive. Some experts argue that constant digital communication has reduced the quality of our relationships. For example, people may spend more time texting than talking face-to-face. This can lead to misunderstandings and a lack of emotional connection. On the other hand, technology has also provided a voice for people who might otherwise be isolated. Social media allows individuals to share their thoughts and experiences with a wider audience. It has played a key role in raising awareness about important issues, such as mental health and climate change. In the workplace, digital communication tools have improved efficiency, allowing teams to collaborate in real time. Yet, they have also blurred the line between work and personal life, making it harder for people to disconnect after office hours. In conclusion, while technology has certainly made communication faster and more accessible, it's important to find a balance. Real human connection still depends on listening, empathy, and genuine interaction, things that can't always be replaced by a screen. B2 Listening 1, The Future of Work. Key vocabulary and phrases automation, remote work, artificial intelligence, digital skills, job displacement, listening text. In the 21st century, the way we work is changing rapidly due to advancements in technology. Automation and artificial intelligence, AI, are transforming industries across the globe. Machines and software are now capable of performing tasks that once required human labor. While this has led to greater efficiency, it has also resulted in job displacement in many sectors. However, this transformation is not entirely negative. New jobs are being created in areas such as data science, cybersecurity, and digital marketing. To stay competitive, workers need to develop and update their digital skills regularly. Lifelong learning is becoming a necessity rather than an option. Remote work is another trend that has become more common, especially after the global pandemic. People now have the ability to work from home or from different parts of the world, which offers more flexibility and work-life balance. At the same time, remote work also presents challenges such as isolation, communication issues, and maintaining productivity. In conclusion, the future of work will be shaped by continuous technological development. Workers and companies alike must adapt to these changes by embracing innovation, flexibility, and a mindset of continuous improvement. With the right skills and attitude, the future of work can be an opportunity for growth and progress. Summary of key vocabulary: automation, artificial intelligence, digital skills, job displacement, remote work.
The gig economy. Useful vocabulary before listening: freelancer, flexibility, job security, income instability, platform. Work. The gig economy is a growing part of the modern labor market. In this system, people work on short-term jobs or projects instead of having full-time employment. Common examples include rideshare drivers, freelance designers, and delivery workers. These individuals are often called freelancers or gig workers. One of the biggest advantages of gig work is flexibility. Workers can choose when and where to work, making it easier to manage personal commitments. For some, it's a trial line, great way to earn extra money while studying or raising children. However, there are also downsides. Gig workers usually do not receive health insurance, paid vacation, or retirement benefits. This lack of job security can make long-term planning difficult. Many also experience income instability as their earnings depend on how much work is available and how often they are hired. Digital platforms like Uber, Fiverr, or Upwork have made it easier to find gigs, but they also take a percentage of the to workers' pay. In some countries, governments are beginning to regulate these platforms to protect workers' rights. The gig economy is likely to keep growing, but it raises important questions. How can we ensure fair treatment for gig workers? Should platforms offer benefits or guarantees? As work changes, society will need to rethink how to support all kinds of workers. Vocabulary summary. Freelancer. Someone who works independently, not as an employee. Flexibility. The ability to choose your working schedule. Job security. The likelihood of keeping your job. Income instability. Having an unpredictable or changing income. Platform work. Jobs found and done through digital platforms.
The psychology of happiness. Useful vocabulary before listening. Well-being, gratitude, mindset, life satisfaction, social connection. Listening. Text. What makes people truly happy? For years, psychologists have studied this question. Research suggests that happiness is not just about wealth or success. In fact, people who earn more money are not always more satisfied with their lives. One important factor in happiness is gratitude. When people regularly express thanks for what they have, their overall mood improves. Another key element is mindset. People who focus on positive experiences and look for meaning in life often feel happier than those who focus on problems. Relationships also play a major role. Strong social connections with friends, family, or community can provide emotional support and reduce stress. In contrast, loneliness is strongly linked to unhappiness and even health problems. Interestingly, giving can also make people happy. Donating to charity or helping others can increase one's sense of purpose and joy. Physical health matters too. Regular exercise and enough sleep are closely connected to emotional well-being. Finally, happiness is partly a skill. People can learn to become happier by practicing positive habits and changing their perspective on life. Vocabulary. Summary. Well-being. A state of being comfortable, healthy, and happy. Gratitude. Being thankful, life satisfaction. How content someone is with their life. Overall social connection. Having relationships and a sense of belonging.
Let's dive right into a topic that's on everyone's minds. The future of work. The landscape of employment is shifting rapidly in the 21st century, driven by advancements in automation and artificial intelligence.
Wow, that sounds kind of intense. Are a lot of people losing their jobs, or do they just need to learn new skills really quickly?
That's the crux of it. Many individuals are racing to reskill just to keep their jobs. Imagine trying to catch a high-speed train before it leaves the station. That's how fast things are moving. And this surge in remote work is another aspect. It's reshaping how we think about work-life balance.
Oh, with remote work. Does that mean people are, getting kind of lonely at home?
Exactly. When you miss out on that face-to-face interaction, it's easy to feel isolated. As automation takes over more routine tasks, those essential soft skills, like creativity and communication, become a necessity. Think of it like nurturing a garden. You can't just plant the seeds and walk away.
That's an interesting way to put it. It's like having a relationship. If you don't take time to nurture it, it can just fade away. But, speaking of the future, how does climate change fit into all of this?
Great segue. Climate change is actually a catalyst for new job creation. For instance, as governments emphasize renewable energy, sectors like wind and solar power are booming. It's similar to moving a mountain. It takes all of us to create a collective force for change.
Wow, I love that, but it sounds like a lot to tackle. Sometimes I wonder if focusing on happiness might be simpler. What do you think about the psychology of happiness?
Absolutely. Happiness isn't merely about wealth. Studies show that gratitude and strong social connections can significantly enhance our well-being. Think of happiness as a garden. If you plant seeds of kindness, you'll grow a thriving space of joy.
That's so poetic. But, what about busy people who can't always plant those seeds? Like, they're just swamped.
That's a valid point. Even small acts of giving can boost happiness. And don't forget your physical health. Exercise and sleep are paramount. Picture happiness as a three-legged stool. It won't stand if even one leg is compromised.
Three-legged stools. Interesting concept. Speaking of changes, online learning is really trending right now, isn't it?
Indeed. The rise of online learning has revolutionized education, offering a buffet of knowledge at our fingertips. Yet that flexibility does come with obstacles like the digital divide and the need for self-discipline.
So, it's kind of like having too many toppings on a pizza? You know, it's hard to enjoy when there's just a mountain of choices.
Haha, exactly. It can get overwhelming. Plus, we have to consider cultural differences in communication, which is a fascinating topic.
Oh wow. Like, do you mean how people communicate, or how they interpret messages across cultures?
You got it. Western cultures might favor directness, while many Asian cultures lean towards indirect communication to maintain harmony. Think of it like chess. Sometimes, the best strategy is to make moves quietly.
That sounds complex. But let's switch gears a bit. What's up with food and globalization?
Globalization has dramatically reshaped our eating habits. Fusion cuisines are sprouting everywhere, mixing flavors from various cultures. But watch out. Traditional dishes can sometimes fade away. It's like a painter dampening an original canvas with new strokes.
So, it's like a mixed blessing? That's kind of wild. But what's the scoop on social media and mental health?
The complex world of social media and mental health. It connects us, but also breeds harmful comparisons. Imagine scrolling through and feeling everyone is thriving while you're just, in your pajamas.
Haha. Oh man, I've totally had that feeling. So, is it about finding balance with that stuff?
Exactly. Mindful social media usage, like setting time limits and fostering real-life connections, can help keep things in check. Being aware of what you consume is essential.
That's a great way to look at it. But, what about how travel has changed since the pandemic?
Travel trends after the pandemic have drastically changed our behaviors. We're talking workations and increased domestic tourism, with travelers prioritizing sustainability more than ever, like a renewed focus on what truly matters.
Oh wow, that's fascinating. So it's like, people are more discerning about where they spend their money now?
Exactly. It's all about making thoughtful choices, considering both personal and environmental impacts. And let's not forget, the gig economy is booming.
Oh yeah, the gig economy. Is that where people want flexibility but often miss out on job benefits?
Right on. Gig work presents a double-edged sword. It grants autonomy but lacks job security and benefits. It's like a tightrope walk, enjoying the freedom while avoiding the fall into uncertainty.
Wow, that's a perfect metaphor. But what about urban life versus rural life? They seem so different.
Urban and rural living offers starkly different experiences. Cities brim with opportunities, but come with higher living costs and pollution. Rural areas provide fresh air and community bonds, but might lack services. It boils down to personal values. Do you prioritize convenience or tranquility?
That totally resonates. It's like choosing between a fast-paced city buzz and the calm of rural life. There's no one-size-fits-all.